It's been almost a year since I quit the worst job I've ever had to deal with, known as Walmart. Felt like I was being let out of prison as I finally escaped the place and said the famous two words known as "I quit" and decided to throw my vest at my manager. It almost seemed like an angelic choir played, and when I left those grounds of Walmart, I decided to listen to Freebird when I was finally done because I felt truly free. That job did not even feel like a privilege or anything. It felt like a sentence. I had known some people who'd been working there for most of 40 years, and I didn't even want to work there for another day. I don't even know if I accomplished 40 days working there, just about 2 months or so. But I'll be telling you about why I decided to quit. So it was a cold January evening, and I had just headed about up to here, up to my head, maybe even higher, maybe up to the ceilings of Walmart with all the bullshit that I had to deal with, being yelled at by customers and nobody even did shit. I still remember the one customer who called me a retard and said all these horrible things to me that made me want to slap them just because I didn't know where something was. And then I told my manager about it and they didn't do shit. All they said was get back to work right now, just to give me a get back to work or you're fired, quoted Benson Dunwoody. All this stupid stuff that doesn't make sense. They just said that to me, and even I was accused of drinking beers in the bathroom and all this crazy stuff, which I later found out it was because the assistant manager actually did cocaine and he was caught with that, and also his ecstasy was another thing he was caught with, and I don't know what he's doing now, but I was just talking to my friend about it. He's also is in jail at the moment, the guy who was selling this stuff, and they were even having terrible work hours. They were making me work 9 hours a day, and they had these certain regulations where, oh, you're only allowed to take a break when I say so, and you can't combine your two breaks, which made absolutely no sense because I knew a person who worked at another store that was also a grocery store, and they were able to combine their breaks and take them whenever they wanted. I just like to take them towards the end of my shift because that was when it was least busy, around 9 or so, and it was just a nice thing I could do, have a little chips, maybe a drink, something, and I could just relax and finish off my day. But no, I was only allowed to take a break when they told me I could, and they were even saying all these stupid stuff. Oh, you can't actually take a 15-minute break. You got to be heading down to the sales floor at about 10 minutes in, which is utterly ridiculous. And some of the coworkers just treated me like dirt, to be honest. They would just call me stupid names and said I was a terrible worker and made up lies about me. Said I was throwing meat at the walls, which didn't even make sense. I never did that. All we had to do was throw away rotten meat at one point. I never threw them at the walls. I just did what I was supposed to with them, and that place smelled awful. And I remember even another time I decided I was feeling sick, and I even threw up right in front of my manager, and I told him I gotta go home, I feel sick, and he was, too bad, you can't go home, I don't believe you, you probably made yourself throw up by sticking your finger down your throat. And I go, dude, I was right in front of you, I don't know how that's even possible, and I don't even have much of a gag reflex anyways. Some people have a bigger one, I don't have that much of one. I used to have one when I was younger, but I mean, if I stuck my finger down my throat, I probably wouldn't gag until I throw up. I might gag slightly, but it doesn't really matter about that anyways. um, but still, it was just a terrible job that I had to work at, and I can't believe that I stayed there as long as I did. It wasn't really worth the 15 hours. I mean, 15 an hour. It really wasn't worth it. 36 hours a week, and I even had a friend who he's been working, 7 times 9 is 63, I believe. He's been working 63 hours a week, and he's been working 7 days a week, and he hasn't been getting any time off whatsoever. It's just ridiculous. It doesn't even matter. And then, I mean, pretty much towards the last day, one thing that's kind of funny, I used to drink caffeinated Monster energy drinks or Bang Energy, 5-Hour Energy, Red Bull, whatever you want to call them, whatever assorted energy drink they just had. I would just pick one out and drink it. They would always make me sweat a lot because one of the things that energy drinks do is raise your heart rate, sometimes to an alarming level. But I would just drink them a lot, and it would also make me sweat. So the manager, he had accused me of being on ecstasy or something like that, and was saying that I was taking that, and that's why I was sweating. And no, that's not even close, because I've heard about those, and they're basically just happy in a can, or happy in a pill, or whatever, happy in a pill can, whatever you want to call them. And it was not even making me anything like that. I would be twitching my jaw, all this crazy stuff that they told me in health class about why you should never take it. And I would just be more than just sweating a tiny bit. I would just be sweating buckets and buckets and buckets. And I later learned that the reason why he was saying that is probably because he was selling ecstasy tablets, and he was even doing cocaine in the bathroom at one point, which was utterly ridiculous. And after he kept saying that he thought I was on drugs, and I proved that I wasn't, It was even more ridiculous because there were times when the people thought I was doing drugs in the bathroom. And when I proved it, and I pulled my pockets out and told them I didn't have anything. I even took a drug test about 3 or 4 times, and they thought it all came back negative each time. And they thought that I was just making it up and all that shit. They just kept giving me the stupidest reasons whatsoever. And I knew so many people who said they worked there too, and they quit after a little bit. Somebody I knew worked there actually works in my store right now, the Domino's, and they even said that it was one of the worst jobs they had ever had too. But basically, after the guy kept saying I was on drugs and all this stupid stuff when I blatantly knew I wasn't, and I even fact checked that and proved it and did all the things to prove, no sir, I'm not under the influence of fucking, I don't know, the Torah leaf or something stupid. I don't even know what they thought I was under the influence of, but I had proved time and time and time and time again that I was not under the influence of anything. They just seemed like they didn't care. They just thought I was. So then I finally decided to say those famous 2 words, I quit. And they go, you can't quit because you're fired. And I go, that's not how it works, pal. I'm quitting. You can't fire me, so fuck you. I hate you. Hate this job. It's ridiculous. Hate this. I don't know why they decided to just try to keep me there. The guy was even saying, oh, don't quit, we'll give you 18 an hour. And I thought about it for about 2 seconds and thought, no, this isn't worth it. So that pretty much was the story of how I quit Walmart. It was the worst job ever. If you even think about working there, just don't do it. It was practically signing my soul away. So hope you guys enjoyed the story.